You manage a node, right? And you've been
Yes, I'm
you
in several node,
and
two
you're
two
not
nodes actually.
and you're an you do arbitrage as well?
Correct. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
forgot to mention I'm doing arbitrage as well. I'm um, not the biggest one, not the smallest one, but that's actually one of the main purposes I actually started a node. I need a node as an arbitrager, and so for me it was essentially clear that I can try to be a node operator as well. I believe that the system THORChain provides is a very unique one, very cool one. I enjoy it very much. Um, Actually, quite funny that it took so long for me to finally find THORChain since I'm already in crypto more than 10 years now, or almost 10 years. Uh, well, I guess if I focus and commit to a chain, I commit fully to it. And I had to look out for a new home since the last blockchain I was very involved in. Yeah,
Well,
is all.
how did you find THORChain? When did you first come
Um,
about it, and how did you find it?
well, I heard about THORChain in the past already. Just never really focused too much on it. After the last chain was clear that I can no longer really operate there, just had to make the decision to leave it hit behind me. Just a matter of risk management and so on. I was looking around. I was always fascinated by blockchains, which basically have a revenue share, which going back. And yeah, how I've actually the last blockchain I was working on, another project considered moving to THORChain as well. That's how I got interested in it because I wanted to be prepared in case they moved there. And so I ended up here and I fell in love with THORChain after I went through the documentation and saw what's possible, what was achieved, and so on. Yeah.
So this is just like, was this like last fall then that you started like kind of started going down the rabbit hole? Like this
Yeah.
is
So I joined in around December.
yeah.
I dug into the code quite a lot since for me as an arbitrage, I need to understand the mechanisms of the swap extremely well. Um, and yeah, I started investigating, found some issues, reported issues, started preparing proposals. It's like actually the second one I now prepared. Um, Try to improve where I can and help to bring THORChain to the next level
Nice,
or be at least a part of that.
nice. So like maybe you can help me and help me understand. You can, as an ARB, like you can run a THORChain node without being in a network. Like you can run a
Yeah,
non-validator node, right?
correct.
And you could use that to do your arbitrage. But you elected to run an actual full proper validator node and post Bruno as a bond. Can you walk us through that decision? Like why'd you do that?
Why did I do that? So first of all, I really much like the idea being an node operator as well, because even though there's sometimes a mixed feeling about arbitrages in general, some say yeah, they don't like them for what they are doing. But if I commit to a chain, to a project, then I commit fully. Um, this time I actually decided to step out of the shadows. Usually arbitrageurs try to keep in the background. They don't want to get too much attention. Um, I changed the view because I saw that there's quite a lot already going on THORChain related to arbitrage, and I saw that some decisions don't consider the views of arbitrageurs, and they are a really huge and essential part of THORChain economy. And without them, a lot of things wouldn't really work out. But I think sometimes there's a not everyone is appreciating what they're doing. I know that there's a lot of controversial discussion about extracting value and so on. So this is my way on giving back something to at least say that I can contribute something and not extracting value. Um, I see that, well, at least I believe that it makes sense to have more individual node operators. So I'm doing here as well. And luckily, I had a huge support from Runebond. They helped me quite a lot to get started. So thanks again for that, for the full team,
Nice.
Danny.
Nice. That's great. And dude, I mean, I hope we have more nodes like you, node operators, more arbitrageurs. So like, you're right. Like, it's been a long term. This has been going on for years since I was first new to THORChain. People talking about, arbitrageurs, our bots are you know, like parasitic capital, and they're taking money. They're extracting value and money and stuff. And I'm like, well, it's never really set right with me because it's, they're just another participant in the ecosystem, right? And it's like, okay, arbs might make a lot of money, fine, but then where does the money come from? And in my mind, it's coming from the user, like somebody else placing a swap. They're gonna have they lower the price a bit, and the arbs come in and rebalance the price, and whatever money the arbs are making is the fee, the cost the other swapper is willing to pay to execute their trade. So like no one is out, no one's losing, everyone's interacting voluntarily and getting what they want. Um, I'm curious how you see it. Does that make sense? How I just explained it? Do you see it
Yeah.
differently?
So
Or-
um, the thing is, let's imagine THORChain without any arbitrages. What would happen? The price would be all the time out of sync. Either you have a premium or a discount. You are happy or you are not satisfied what you are receiving as a user because the prices are out of sync. Eventually, a user would come up and take advantage of this price. At this moment, he becomes the arbitrager. Arbitrage doesn't necessarily need software for doing that. It's just that with software you can optimize it. You can reach frequencies and precision you will never achieve as a human. But essentially, humans can be arbitrage as well. And sometimes we do have this scenario on THORChain as well, um, especially during high volatility or high fund demand. It could be that arbitrageurs simply run out of funds. They're currently stuck in the transfer process between other exchanges, and the price is out of sync, where users, normal human users, can actually do arbitrage as well. Most
Yeah,
of the time they achieve that, but yeah, without them, the price is out of sync, and eventually a normal user becomes an arbitrager. So I don't see them as extracting value because the user who's doing the swap benefit from it because arbitrageurs are bringing back the price, and especially on how well THORChain is doing this with rapid swaps and streaming swaps. There's a lot of opportunities for arbitrageurs to bring back the price and improve the actual execution result for the end user. So everyone profits. User arbitrage as well as the ecosystem from the additional volume.
that's the way I feel too. I don't think you guys are extracting all kinds of capital. But would it be so at times we have like say 20% of our volume is just retail users, regular L1 swaps, then 80% of the volume is arbitrage. Do you think that ratio kind of would tell us that something is maybe out of sync? Like, should it be more 50-50? Should it, does the ratio give any indication of like
Mm.
something is being inefficient and needs to be fixed?
Yeah, so the ratio, I cannot really tell for THORChain, I don't know the exact numbers, but for the previous chain, the ratio was actually almost 99 to 1.
Wow.
99% arbitrage volume, only 1% user volume. Um, for THORChain, I would at least say at least 50% is spot volume
Yeah.
because it's simply broken down for every user who moves the pool, there will be an arbitrage trade in the opposite direction. So every user trading is almost copied by arbitrage bots in the opposite direction. Additionally to that, we have the outside movement, which moves the price on, let's say, Binance, and then THORChain has to follow, which is done by arbitrage bots as well. So at least 50% is done by arbitrage bots. And I believe it's actually fine. Um, Arbitrage bots do most of the volume. That's why you see exchanges, centralized exchanges, bringing the best efforts to make API usage as good and reliable as possible because they know the most volume come from automatic um, execution software, and
Interesting.
arbitrage being part of one of them.
Yeah. So do you would you think, so then would it be better to, do you think it's healthier when we have 99% ARB volume versus 1% retail? Do you think that's like a better
Mm,
situation to be in?
no,
Um,
actually, I believe that the current volume distribution is very healthy. You have well, THORChain has a lot of human produced volume, which then just requires arbitrage bots to counter, and that's totally fine. I mean, if it would be 99 to 1, it actually means that almost no one is using the
Right.
exchange,
yeah,
which was for the previous one,
yeah.
where arbitrage bots essentially just traded all the time.
And if
Can
it's,
I
if,
chime in real quick?
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Boone just messaged me. He says our volume is approximately 63% of THORChain. So
60%.
Okay.
that, yeah,
And so let's just pretend it, well, so 40, 60 or 50, 50. When is that in line or that kind of more even, does that mean THORChain is actually quite efficient at ARB, like
Yeah,
letting the ARBs move the price, that they don't have to do that much more volume to affect the
yeah,
price?
yeah. So when it comes to efficiency of the arbitrage bots, they are very efficient actually. As I'm tracking it as well, especially rapid swaps, which I'm really interested into. Um, they are very, very efficient when it comes down to arbitraging the prices. We operate at single digit basis points in profit for us. Sometimes we are getting lucky and getting 2 digits, but that's actually our real, at least I cannot tell for everyone. It depends a lot on external factors like what VIP level or fee structure you have on the outside of THORChain. But we operate on a very tight profit margin. We are actually getting the real income from the amount of trades we are doing, not from a single trade. The single trades there, like we are getting a few cents per $1,000 volume we are producing. That's not really much as some claim to be.
Yeah. So I'm curious, how is it going to work with Monero? You know, Monero keeps getting delisted from all these exchanges. Is it going to be hard to arbitrage it and hard to keep the price in line? Like, are we going to see big discrepancies?
There will be definitely a lot more price differences. I believe so, since, as you said, a lot of exchanges delist. You need to integrate other exchanges if you want to do spot arbitrage. You can. There are other ways of doing arbitrage. You don't need to do arbitrage with spot. You can actually do it with futures as well. I believe there are more exchanges currently listing the futures of Monero as the spot, since it's not, they are not risking anything related to regulations there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you can basically buy on THORChain while you go short on the other one. So you're basically hedging the risk there, and eventually, somewhere in the future, the price will come back, both of them, and then you can close the short again, and then you would realize the profit. That would
So
be an alternative.
yeah, it'd be all paper trading or be all well, everything's settling in fiat, right? So would there,
Mm,
so if you're doing like when you close a short, you would close it with fiat, right? You wouldn't be withdrawing Monero out of the pool to deliver to
correct.
close a short.
It,
You'd be
it
paying
would
off.
actually stay. Yeah.
It would stay on THORChain. So you'd have to sell the Monero on THORChain, use that cash to close your short. Is that right?
Yep. So you have funds on both exchange. Obviously, you need collateral to open, but you can go short while there is a price opportunity to buy on THORChain. And now you have basically this profit is currently unrealized, and you just need to wait until both exchanges will close on the price again. Then you can sell on THORChain again and close your short, and then you would realize, for example, you can realize a loss with the futures while you realize a profit with on THORChain because the price moved up.
Yeah.
So you're actually yeah, you're locking your profit in with going short and hedging the risk. The only thing that can happen is, of course, funding rates, which can either improve your profit or actually you go into a loss with that.
Sorry, I was gonna sneeze. So then would that actually, so if ARBs aren't actually withdrawing Monero to deliver on another exchange, Does that mean there'd be more trading volume on THORChain because they're buying it and selling it on THORChain? So we should see even more
Um,
volume.
I'm not sure about this because first of all, there will be arbitrage bots which actually transfer, and we will need this. Someone has to bring back the price at some point. So we will see transfers. It might take a little more time than other chains, since there's not a lot of exchanges accepting Monero. But really hard to tell if there will be more. I believe I'm really hoping to see more volume with Monero. I mean, it will
Yeah,
be a huge game changer
yeah.
as well.
We all are. We're all pretty excited. Um,
Kenton, I know you've been zoned out a little bit. I didn't. Did you see that? From what I hear, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Kraken is going to be delisting XMR gradually, and so I don't know if there's any SEX that supports XMR. So I wonder if THORChain is destined to be the price
isn't that
of
just in?
whatever it is.
I think I saw it too. Isn't that just in Canada? They're
I might
delisting
be wrong.
Monero in
I don't know.
Canada.
Devel, do you know? I thought it
Sorry.
was just being delisted. I thought XMR was being delisted on Kraken. Maybe I am incorrect. I might be incorrect. I might have
I want to
misspoke.
say it
I'm
was
not
just
sure.
Kraken
Kraken.
Canada or some
Okay.
specific country, not the
Okay.
US.
Yeah, in Europe, definitely. There's no way in Europe it will be on
Or maybe,
Kraken.
maybe it was in Europe.
100%.
Yeah. I don't know,
Well, that'll be really.
but your point is, Denny, is that like even Kraken, like more and more exchanges delisting, right? Like that's
KuCoin.
the
KuCoin
trend
still has, yeah.
is to delist.
Wow. So if you can't get it anywhere in Europe and people source it on THORChain in Europe, and then Kraken for whatever reason, maybe United States, maybe a few other jurisdictions, that I should create pretty enormous price fluctuations because you have like these bottlenecks of buying and selling, right? And there's got to be. That's really interesting.
Well, what's
It will be
cool,
challenging.
what'll be cool is, if Monero's as big as we all think it could be or will be, and THORChain can become the price setter.
All right,
Like,
exactly.
and
Could be.
I'm curious about what you think. So could the Monero price end up just following the XY curve on THORChain, and all these other markets start arbing against it? Like we become the anchor price, and all these other markets
Yeah,
have to change their price to match ours. Do you think that's
yeah.
possible?
I've actually believe that's quite possible. The more exchanges delisting Monero, the more it will concentrate on THORChain. When at some point, okay, maybe not the only source, but maybe it will be the leading source of the price movement and the price discovery from Monero.
Cool.
Yeah, I actually can believe that.
That'd be it'd be exciting, hey? Like,
Yeah.
forget the volume and the numbers, just like that actually happening. Like, that'd be pretty cool. And we're gonna see it. We're gonna witness it in real time.
We're
Pretty cool,
moving the
guys.
needle, boys.
Yeah.
We're moving the needle.